Hello everyone, it's Hannah Singer and welcome to my channel.
Something about the way you look to me, yeah. Give me a reason, give me a reason, and I will dance, I will dance.
So in this week's video, I wanted to just do a chill chit chat type video, you know, grab a cup of tea. It's so hot. Anyways, I just wanted to do a chill video where I share some big changes that have happened in my life this year. So I want to kind of get into that today and talk about how I changed my life and changed my major during quarantine and just kind of my reflection on that and how it's impacted my life so far. So let's get into it. I want to give a little bit of background on my life and on how I got to the point to where I felt like I needed to switch my major and to change essentially my entire life. So for those of you who don't really know me and maybe you don't watch my videos or know anything about my past, I grew up as a dancer. I've been dancing since I was 2 years old. I started competing at age 6 and competed until I was 18 years old. And then I decided that I wanted to dance in college. So when I say that dance was essentially my life, I lived, breathed, everything was dance. That defined me for pretty much my entire existence. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just kind of just to paint the picture, dance was my everything. And I also planned to pursue a career in dance. Ever since I was really little, I had this aspiration to be a professional dancer. This all kind of started changing when I was 13 years old. So when I was 13 years old, I injured myself pretty seriously in one of my dance classes, and I eventually got to the point where I was in so much pain that I just started crying and I couldn't handle it anymore. And I tried to just like let it be. You know how when you first get injured and you wait a few days, you just wait, test the waters and see? Well, it just kept getting worse and worse, and I kept dancing through it. It just built up to the point where I was like, I cannot do this. So then I was in and out of dance for a while after that, and pretty much from 13 years old until now, I've dealt with chronic pain and a lot of other things that have come with that chronic pain. It was rough. It was a rough couple of years. And not even couple, it was like almost 7 years, like crazy. But basically, it was a lot to handle. And I fought through high school to be in dance and to continue to pursue this path. And it really messed me up mentally, and it caused a lot of other injuries to the point where I just was immobile for a good few months. I always explain this to people. It's like when you hit your funny bone on like a table or something, and then you have that like lingering pain. It hurts really bad at first, and then you have that pain that's like just so annoying and it won't go away, and you know you have to just let it be because there's nothing else you can do to like get rid of that pain. That is like what I woke up with every single day. It was just like this lingering pain that I couldn't get away, and it just made me so just depressed and angry and sad. And that was a lot of things on top of the actual pain that I was already living with and trying to heal. Plus, being a high schooler isn't always the easiest. I had all of this stuff that built up for essentially my entire high school career. And then by the time I got to my senior year, I had to decide, was I gonna dance in college or not? And was I gonna continue to try and overcome this pain that has felt like it will never go away? So at this point I was like, whatever, I'll just, try my best and see. So I auditioned for 2 schools that I liked. Right before I auditioned, both of my hip flexors felt like they had just been sliced open with just huge bread knives. Like, it was so painful, not to be all gory, but it was seriously like the worst pain on top of my back pain, and it came out of like nowhere. It literally makes me cringe thinking about that time in my life and thinking about that pain that I went through, because I literally could not move. Like, I remember being in rehabilitation and physical therapy, and they were like looking at me with almost fear in their own eyes, watching the fact that I couldn't even take my leg behind me. I'll show you, but you can't really see. Okay, whatever, I'm not gonna show, this is too much. But basically, I could not move my body in ways that a normal human being should. I got really fearful, and I was like, how am I supposed to dance when I can't even sit upright? I decided I'm going to audition for these schools anyways. I was in seriously so much pain, physically and mentally, but you know, you have to have your body. Your body is your temple as a dancer, and so that was really hard. When I auditioned for the program here at IU, I was not very open-minded, and I actually loved it. Like, I ended up really falling in love with the school. And after the audition, it was like confusing because my body was so just not okay, and I remember having to lay with ice packs all over me. I don't know, I was like, how am I gonna dance? But I was motivated after that. I found out like not even a month later that I got accepted into the program, so I was like, oh, I might as well really try to pursue this and make a career out of dance. I worked my freaking ass off to try to be able to function as a normal human being first, and then be able to dance. And it was not easy at all. People in my family and stuff, they'd make jokes that I like didn't have a life, but it's because my life was in physical therapy. It was at the gym. It was working every single day to be able to dance at college. I post videos now on Instagram of me like doing handstands, whatever. That was not even a question or even a thought in my mind at that point of my life, because I was so physically incapable of doing anything, even the simplest stretches like a lunge. I could not do a lunge. So the stuff that I'm doing now is just crazy. The fact that I actually can like balance on my arms and go to a yoga class and actually enjoy the class, like, oh, that's so crazy. I got here, I was still not out completely healed or anything, not even close. So I got to college, I worked my butt off, and then I was dancing and I was miserable. I was so miserable. I just was constantly questioning myself. I was like, is this the right path for me? Is this the right decision? I wanted to essentially just drop out of college. I don't want to like bash on dance, because I still love dance with like all of my heart. I was like born to express myself. I was born to move and express in a way of artistry, but I just was affected by it negatively, mentally. I knew, I was like, I need to like make a change in my life. You know, I just started kind of exploring other options. So I was like, what else can I major in? What can I be? What can I do with my life? And what worse feeling in the world than that? Yes, it's exciting to have like an open slate, but also we're taught to not have open slates and to not just be as human beings. Like, we are taught to always be doing stuff and to always have a plan and a goal and a path. And so when we veer off of that path or we take risks, like, it's scary as shit. And so I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Where am I going? I don't know what I'm gonna be. I've literally been defined by dance. My entire existence is founded in what dance has taught me. And so to let that go, to let that place of like comfort go, was scary. And to like look at all these options, and I was like, I don't know what I want to study. I don't know what I'm interested in. I don't know what I'm good at, you know? All of those questions coming back up was just a lot to handle, during this pandemic and quarantine where I was just sitting with my thoughts all the time. At this point, knew I wanted to be done with dance, but just like couldn't admit it to myself because I kept holding on to this like tiny thread that I thought was there. I was just causing myself so much suffering physically and mentally on top of the pain that I was already experiencing from my back. Dance is an art form. You're tapping into your authentic experiences. I would go back into the deepest, darkest places of my mind to pull emotion from, and that's not okay. It was like middle of quarantine, I was getting certified in yoga, and I just started to actually tap into like my truth, and then I realized, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? Like, I don't want to be living on autopilot. I don't want to be doing something that I'm going to be miserable in. I don't want to be causing myself more pain. I don't want to dance. I don't want to do all these things. So why am I living in this when I don't have to? When I have the privilege of making a choice and I'm purposely choosing not to because I'm scared. Like, that was just so eye-opening for me, and I realized that I needed to make a change and that I had to, otherwise I would be living in hell. I would be living in the hell that I was creating for myself for all these years. And so then I just said, sorry for my bad language, but it. Like, I was just so done at this point that I didn't think I had anything else to lose. And so I decided in that moment to just scrap my entire schedule. I called up an advisor and I was like, hey, let's get me going on a new path. So I decided journalism was the next best option for me. I love writing, so I wanted to be in something where I could incorporate my artistry and creativity. I love connecting with people. I love telling stories, sharing stories, hearing stories. I love photography, videography, all of the media stuff. So I thought journalism might have something in there for me. At this time, I also started to learn Italian. I essentially taught myself an entire semester's worth of Italian during quarantine. So now I'm an Italian minor, and I decided to pick that up, which is so cool. So now I'm doing journalism and Italian. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know if I will end up ever pursuing something in journalism or Italian. I don't know what I want to do yet. And so that's the thing. Now I'm in the place, after I made that change, I'm in the point in my life where I'm okay with the fact that I don't know, and I'm okay with the fact that there's so much uncertainty in this world and every single day, and I just take it day by day and really try to absorb the information that I'm learning and enjoy what I'm learning. And I think that's where I notice, even though I don't know what the future holds, I'm okay with that because I enjoy my life and I enjoy the stuff that I'm learning. That is the freaking tea of my life this year. It's so crazy now. I have so many moments just moving throughout my day and my life where I'm like, whoa, I was in such a different place last year. I'm so grateful and appreciative that everything happened the way it did. I am so grateful for dance and the role that it's played in my life. And I'm unlearning all the suffering that I caused myself. And a lot of times we cause ourselves the most suffering out of anyone on this planet. It was like a love-hate relationship at its finest. And so letting go of that, I am so much happier now. I actually feel like I'm a more positive human being just by letting that go. Yoga is my new dance form now. It has become my way of expressing myself in a healthy form that allows me to just take every single day as it is and as it comes. And that is just such a beautiful gift to have. I'm extremely privileged and blessed, and I'm very grateful for that, and I acknowledge that. And so it's been a journey, but if there's anyone out there who is feeling like they are fearful for their future, or they are fearful to make a decision that might be extremely, life-changing or life-altering, that it's okay and that you can take as much time as you need and to take the time to like connect with yourself. I think that's what made the switch for me, is like meditating, journaling, expressing myself and talking things out. That is where I noticed, and I literally was writing, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. I was writing in my journal this like just kind of free writing, and it came up and I was like, I'm done. I wonder if I have it. That would be so exciting. I'll just read it out loud. I said, I haven't really seen dance as a part of my future, and it makes me question, is it worth it to do now? Possibly hurt my body more, end up struggling in the future, or should I take the leap of faith, study journalism and photojournalism, and explore that while teaching yoga on the side and continuing my love for Italian, YouTube, and food blogging. And then I wrote, even right now, writing this, I'm realizing that I get giddy writing the second option. And in the first option, I just feel, I think life is an adventure, and if this earth is my playground, then I'm gonna freaking play. I freaking love that. So grateful that I tracked that, because it was so eye-opening. If there's something that you are struggling with right now, just know that you will get through it, and that you just have to trust the universe. As silly as that may sound, you know, that paired with meditation, paired with yoga, paired with just expressing my truth is where I found clarity, and where I made that leap of faith. And I'm so unbelievably happy that I did. College isn't always easy. Life in general is not easy, especially during this crazy pandemic. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself mentally and physically. And I send you all so much love and light. I hope you enjoyed kind of hearing about my journey, which to some of you, it might not even seem like anything at all, but I live in my own fantasy, my own world. And so, you know, experiencing all of that and getting to where I am now is just kind of unbelievable. With that said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications bell. I upload every single Wednesday. I will catch you in my next video. And don't forget to always let this earth be your playground. So much love. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much